No offense, but if your science or research presentation still look like this in 2025, then your audience is getting bored and your research results are not being properly communicated. Are you still exporting your presentations as static PDFs? It's 2025, we can do better. Let's figure out how. Hi, I am Mauricio from Depict Labs. In this video I will show you the 2025 criteria for effective scientific talks. We will compare the common presentation tools, their pros and cons, and then I will show you the one that in my opinion is the best tool for scientific research presentations. And then we will make a demo of this tool and show how easy it is to introduce everything that is needed for a scientific presentation. Interactive charts, code snippets, math equations, and much more. So let's start by explaining which are the most common mistakes that people do when creating scientific research presentation. These are the three common failure modes. The first one is treating the slide and organizing it as if it was a paper. Walls of text, no visual hierarchy. You have to understand that the audience is not seated there to read again your paper. They are there to receive a message and to understand the ideas. The second one, and the one that in my opinion makes people get bored easily, is that there is no dynamism and everything is static. If there is not progressive disclosure, it will be very difficult for the audience to follow your arguments. And the third one is using an old tool just because it's easy to use or because you know already how to use it. Avoiding to use new tools that will make everything more clear and even easier. Attention is a scarce resource. Design your presentation for cognitive load, not for tradition. Now I will show you which are the most important criteria to keep in mind while designing a technical scientific research presentation in 2025. The first and most important is the clarity. Keep one idea per slide. It should be readable and visible for everyone in the room. Second, as already mentioned, static presentations are not better than documents. Progression and dynamism is very important for a presentation. Reveal the ideas stepwise. First show, then label, then conclude. And here is when you start differentiating yourself and making your presentations unforgettable. Use live-ish data. Make your presentations interactive. Make live demos, animations, videos. This will enhance the experience of your audience and increase the probabilities that the message that you are giving will be understood and learned by your audience. And the last three are the criteria that we should keep into account while choosing the right tool. Reusability. It's important that you can have some templates, some structure, some style, according to your personal brand or your institution, so that you don't have to start again from zero every time you have to do a presentation. Portability. This is something I have seen many times. Your presentations look great in your computer and then it got completely distorted when you present it. The fonts are not the same, the position of the figure has changed, or even worse, you cannot even open your presentation in another computer. And that's why many people just export it as PDF, which will kill all the dynamism of the presentation. Or maybe your presentation is only visible if you have internet. The presentation should work offline and it should be consistent in shape and style across all different machines. And last but not least, and this is something that will save you a lot of time, is the automation. Making everything by hand by ourselves is something from the past. At this moment, we should be able to generate new slides based on code automatically and generate reports of our results easily. So now let's take a look at which are the commonly used software for presentations and review why they are good and why they are bad for scientific technical research presentations. Let's start with PowerPoint. PowerPoint is very good for animations, style, is accessible among Windows machines, and very easy to use at an intermediate level. However, if we want to show good interactive charts, math equations, and code snippets, maybe PowerPoint will not be the best alternative. Additionally, I would like to say the portability is not the best for PowerPoint. Similarly, we have Keynote. Keynote has beautiful motion and animations, the typography is very clear and clean, and the predetermined layouts are very useful. As cons, I can say that it has poor Windows compatibility and it still struggles with math equations, code, and interactivity, in particular with the charts. First, we have Canva. Here I want to say that Canva is the most beautiful among the last three. The design, animations, color, fonts are beautiful. This is a very good option if your presentation doesn't need to have math equations, interactive animations, or complex charts. Still, Canva will fail to supply all your needs when you're doing a scientific, technical research presentation. And in most of the cases, you will need internet connection. Fourth, and this is the favorite of most of the researchers and scientists, and is LaTeX Beamer. Personally, I think that LaTeX is very good for papers and printed documents, but I'm not a fan of it when it comes to presentations. Every time I see a presentation like this, I know already that there won't be any animation, video, interactivity, and it will be very difficult to follow the argument, even though sometimes the progressive disclosure helps a bit. LaTeX Beamer is very good to show equations, and it has a very professional format and layout. You can control versions and you can generate a PDF. But as I have just said, it is very static and it's very difficult to include animations, interactivity, and videos. And now let's present the one that I consider is the best tool to make scientific presentations in 2025, and it's called Reveal.js. Reveal.js is a JavaScript HTML open source framework to make beautiful presentations, and it will allow you to natively integrate everything from JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and everything that you can see on a website. So the possibilities are countless. With Reveal.js, you can include math equations written in the LaTeX format. You can also highlight code snippets. You can define your personal or institutional brand through the CSS styling, include animations, plugins, interactive charts, and you can easily automate it with Markdown and Python. The only con I see for Reveal.js is that you will need to write a little code, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript before start to see your presentation. In this channel, in future videos, I will teach you how to do it so that you can start using Reveal.js and create outstanding presentations easily. Now let's take a look at a small example with Reveal.js in which I show you some of the capabilities and how they look in real life. Please let me know in the comments which part you would like me to extend. So first of all, let me show you what we have in the main website of Reveal. Here you will find some examples. You will have some demonstrations how Reveal.js will work. Additionally, all the possibilities that you will have, some design themes, and some tutorials that you can follow. And here we have the example of our scientific presentation. Please note that we will have an interactive chart in which we can show the datasets. Additionally, we can choose what dataset we want to show. I dare you to do this with LaTeX. We will also have the progressive disclosure. And of course, LaTeX equation simply shown. PowerPoint and Beamer has worked well so far, but if you want clarity, impact, reusability in 2025, you have to use Reveal.js. In this channel and in future videos, I will show the full workflow, how to create templates, live charts, and Markdown automation. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss this series.